Good morning. It is time for a diligent daily training, courtesy of Chess in Foreman. Bobby Fischer work. We have a lot of ground to cover today, and we're hoping to do it quite. Which player, we don't know. At the moment, the choice is Alexander Beliavsky. We will look into what Alexander Beliavsky plays later. Rule the world. Last chance to control the center.
Shri DP.
Good morning, Shri Deep.
Hi.
But we'll just threaten to threaten. E4 right away might lose the pawn to knight G1, knight H3, knight F4. Brian Cesar Gomez in the house. We're not making any effort to control the control the light squares just yet. The three first goals.
How's it going?
It is going well. Later I will make an appeal to Magnus Carlsen. Everyone should be ready for that team title. That much is true. Appeal to Magnus Carlsen. This knight isn't necessarily so. It also affects this knight's ability to control the center. If you had a knight on e2, then knight to d5 would be possible right now. This knight is ready to dive in, thanks to that knight on c3. I hope you're in the tournament. You may join the event, the dojo, by going to our weekend rapid and classical dojo team. Only sound today. Checking, testing, testing, testing. You scared me there. We're going to prepare d5. We're going to bring our rooks to the center. Not entirely positive what that rook on c1 is doing. Well, I went for a symmetrical English, assuming that he was going to play c4. He started off with knight f3 and b, a closed Sicilian setup without putting my bishop on g7. I'm just locking down on the center. We're going to strip him of his K0R, how are you? Where are you from? First time chat. Great to have you. Weather Vaho. In the Discord, by the way, I posted the magazine for chess in Sweden.
I really wish I could play the song, but it's just too high.
I did notice that the Vaho event was advertised. Action.
Shri DP18.
Said.
Gonna step out of the way. Closed as best we can at the moment. If he chooses to keep the lines closed, that's good for me too. Any relation to Sri DP?
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world
As advertised, we're going to keep locking down on the center. A little bit of a journey with this knight. Interesting.
I could hold you for a million years to make you
Let's see how much he wishes to hold on to this file. Lines closed.
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said. How's things?
If you're not already following the amazing Kingslayer Sloan, now is your time. Should we allow him to double? Yeah, we're going to target the pawn on d3.
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said. I'm doing that if I'm honest.
Could be a mistake.
Said. But it's only Tim.
Can we just keep threatening the threat? Does he have any ways in?
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said. Text to speech is annoying.
Text to speech. This is interesting. I had not considered the fact that he might attack my pawn. I did expect knight to e2 on the previous rook c8, though, to keep the pressure on the knight on d6.
once or twice, took my wins, that's alright.
So how do we go about bothering him some more?
Said. Morning, John.
Good morning, Beliavsky. How are you, man?
Tree DP.
Said. At Kingslayer Sloan, hello.
For a rook. Not yielding any ground. Just planning ahead to try to exchange the knight, or drive him back, or all of the above. Back, I say. Back, I say. A little bit of a fork here. Offering more exchanges. And
Pegasus SWE.
Said. The game of chess is like a sword fight. You must think first before you move.
indeed, you do have. Before we do anything, let's secure our knight first. You've been doing it all wrong. Indeed. No? And force some exchanges. Let's see how he continues. I was expecting king to e6. Well, that's interesting. Is it really? I've been doing it all wrong. Indeed. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he lost his last chance to promote a pawn. Wow, look at all these participants. Now we have enough for our round robin. Assuming the Swiss pairings work out that well.
Said. GG.
Ryan.
Trading space from material, the time zone I enter. It's calculated by movement, from pushed pieces, advancements, and development. Moved all my small pieces, MCs are driven back, unable to avoid capture from the attack.
3DP.
Said.
Somebody's been drinking.
Well, not really.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. Hello there, been a while, how's it going in BTW? I recently growing in rating again, I'm nearing 1k again.
Nice. Midnight Zero Ishi. My opponent is playing alone. Just a wee bit alone.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. I've been enjoying my playstyle more as I learned the concept of SWAT.
My opponent did not take advantage of my king being on D1. Whoa. I did think about bishop to h3. I didn't think enough about it. Bishop d2 could have been a better move. Is there an option to go after the e6 pawn? Can we get him to weaken his squares some more? Yeah, let's get him to weaken his squares some more.
BTW, I have a game I want to share. It's a game I want to share it and want to show them how to not play the Scandinavian.
That's pretty cool.
3DP.
Said. Any idea who your opponent is?
Aryav SP? No, I don't think about who my opponent is. I'm here to play chess. Uh-oh. That's a free piece. Or I guess it's not a free piece. Because he also has that.
Rule of the Scandinavian is do not lose the queen and don't leave it alone. Well, he lost the queen.
The two bishops and a knight. Oh, I wouldn't say he lost the queen.
LMAO.
Do I wish to? I'm gonna try for something even better. Let's see if we can.
I can share the moves here if you want to review it. I was proud of it since it's a near perfect game of mine and I'm open to your critiques and tips.
Alright. I'll tell you what, put it in the Discord first, under Games for Analysis. Alright. Can I do it this way? No, I can't. I have to keep up the pressure. Fork? I don't know if it's really a fork. It's allowing a fork, though. A fork. for further simplification.
Sometimes I think about you, wonder if you're out there somewhere thinking about me. 'Cause I look in the mirror and all I see are your brown eyes looking back at
Night Zero Ishii.
Said.
Oh, I hear
There
the
you go.
weather's
At Master Chess Dojo I didn't know how to get the game, so I just copied the moves, but yet it has its own title, the How to Not Scandinavian.
How to Not Scandinavian is a very good title. We'll definitely check it out. I don't know that we'll be able to check it out right away. That's why I said put it in the...
This is a weird endgame.
It is a weird endgame. I did not expect him to have 2 pieces for a rook. That much is true.
there to break my
Looks like we can.
mothers do. You weren't around to cheer me on. Help me do
Removing the defender of the bishop one way or the other.
like mothers do. Did you think I didn't need you here to hold my hand, to dry my tears? Did you even miss me through the years at all?
And now, more.
Sun of skies as far as I can see. If you ever come back home,
Said.
what you
This is genuinely the first time I saw an endgame with 2
It is good to be
bishops
young,
against
sir.
knight and rook.
You are young. It's good to be young.
Midnight Zero.
Completely different.
Tree DP.
Said. IG I can say my GGS now.
Just an offer. And now for something completely different.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said. I thought that was a fork by you.
It's a piece domination. That's what it did look like a fork. It was a fork in a way.
GG.
It was a double attack. A double attack doesn't have to use just one piece. I was threatening too many pieces to simplify.
Said.
Alright, boy.
But I'm blind.
Alright, boy. How are you, Mon?
Said.
Good morning.
Hello.
Thank you for the follow. I am FIDE trainer, National Master John MacArthur. Sometimes I know how to play chess.
She told me her name was Billie Jean, and she caused a scene. Then Harry hit her with
Following.
We'll see.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
What's a FIDE?
What's a fighty?
FIDE is the International Chess Federation.
The
For example, Ian, how are you, Mon?
Use
It is a normal
nice.
morning stream. Hopefully it'll be a long one.
claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son.
See if I got his name right.
I am the one. 40 nights lost on her
The Welsh Canadian.
Said. I'm okay, thanks.
schemes and plans, 'cause we dance on the floor.
The Welsh Canadian. If
Always think twice.
there's only one way to get your diligent daily training in, and that's by scheduling it.
Fédération Internationale des Échecs.
My baby cry, 'cause his eyes were like mine, but the kid is not my son.
It was founded in it was formed in Paris in 1924, and it was originally intended to organize world chess tournaments.
100 ELO. Do you have any tips for me to improve?
At 600 ELO, you should be playing 3 games a day minimum time that you don't have a chance to review and open your eyes.
I thought black just lost a piece that scared the life out of me.
And go over the games of very good players, champion and great player study links
Midnight
Sure,
Zero
if-
Ishi.
said. It was a queen move.
Whoops, I misspelled it. A quick peek at first the Discord. Yes.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. I didn't see the
There
knight
are
protecting
a
the
list
queen.
of
I thought
best
it was
known
hanging
study
down.
games.
X1 Horse 1.
Said. But what is ideal time control to balance the
5-3.
analyze?
Of 10 minutes per player, basically.
I
That
would
is 5
suggest
for you
going through
and
my
5 for your
games.
opponent,
Got to
assuming...
learn from the greatest.
Shri DP.
Let's go back for a moment.
LMAO.
Let's take a look at my last game. So first things first, we have to observe, and you should write down the 3 principles of the opening. Let me just see if I have them already under 5. I haven't used 5 in a long... Gosh, namaste, Ron.
Sunchasar.
Thanks for
Ron is
subscribing.
here.
Scott Post 100.
Be looking at all the possibilities here and how many rules you break.
Shri DP.
So I'm actually worse in this position, but not by much. Don't believe those numbers unless they're over 1 pawn or over 2 pawns. Anything below 1 pawn can easily be recovered. For example, true.
So you can
Had
help
he
me
played-
analyze it.
Alright boy, post a game in the Discord. You should definitely ask
Pegasus
a
SWE.
question.
Said. At Shri Deep 18.
Basically, we're controlling the center. You should have exchanged queens. I should target that weakness on e6. And in this particular position, I probably should have just castled straight away, as it's pointing out. Instead, I played knight takes e4, which caused... Now my opponent just gave away material. Now, how did I not take advantage of this, taking advantage of material? I could have just brought another piece to this thing. All of your pieces active. Develop your pieces with a purpose. Control the center. And make sure your king is safe for the first 3 rules you should write down. King safety. Activate all pieces. Control the center. All of the good openings do that. Let's look at this game in the beginning, for example. White is developing the bishop, but not with a purpose. The main drawback of this opening is that White is playing natural moves without necessarily having a purpose. White moved the same piece twice unnecessarily, and now is allowing Black to stake out some space. I personally probably would have... And the game ended. We should be starting the new event soon. But I will try to emphasize, Ari boy, what's going on in the next game from your perspective. It's good to have you ask a question because that way I can... So here, I was requested the other day by one of our, by my pseudo trainer.
Open 8-6/Edeldino.
Tiger's playing in the Malmo Open, yes. I am actually attempting to control the center in a different way, in an unusual way. The way I'm doing it is not necessarily recommended, but I am playing a system of development involving getting my bishop to the long diagonal, getting my king safe, affording myself the outpost square, e5. But we're going to fight for the center in a very traditional way. Now that there are no threats of, I'm going to threaten a rather primitive attack on the e4 square. So I'm preparing to play e4. My opponent is...
Your stream is lagging a bit.
Is it? I'm going to check my... I'm going to check my internet connection now. I cleared my notifications. Let's hope that it's not lagging any more than it is. I'm going to tuck my king away just as a show of respect for my opponent. And now we might go for the full wedge. But I also want to be able to play f5 in certain positions.
Sound alerts.
said. The ever so
Oh.
amazing supporter, Pegasus.
Amazing in itself, by the way, that I haven't muted sound alerts. I have to decide I am playing a very dangerous player, so I should stake out the space. And I do want to stake out. Looks as though we are going to activate our rook. He has the option to get his bishop to a better diagonal. That rook doesn't necessarily mean
Lying here with you so close to me.
any harm.
It's hard to fight these feelings caught up in your smile.
I've never opened up to anyone, so hard to hold back.
F3, so we're going to
Let's just take
continue to pressure the center a different way, and we'll reroute our bishop on c1 to e3.
moonlight, just a touch of the fire burning so bright. No, I don't wanna be the one
Oh
I've been
boy.
waiting for.
Said. Can you analyze my game after this game?
We're in the middle of a tournament here, though, our boy.
Know that if we give this a little time, it'll
That is a little bit of a pestering move, I have to admit it. But I'm going to reroute my knight toward the king side
so real.
a different way.
Okay.
We're going to prepare.
Oh boy.
Said. Do it when you have
No,
time.
no worries. Yes, no, we have a weekend event every Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. And during the week, options toward got rid of my good bishop as well. I think we're almost ready. I don't know that my rook doesn't want to.
Said. What is the time in New York?
Just a kiss on your
We're going to open up some lines. Good night. Taking advantage of the pin.
Shri Deep P.
And where are you headed?
Oh, it's 1916 here.
day. I'm addicted, wanna jump inside your love.
He was hoping to capture.
Any other way. I'm addicted and I just can't get enough.
Just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Just can't get enough.
I just can't get enough.
To be protected.
Inception, you got a brother dreaming, dreaming. Dang, baby, I'm a beaming. I'm trying to holler at you, I'm screaming. Let me love you down this evening.
Can I?
You love you, yeah, you know you're my demon.
Girl, we could form a team and I could be the king, you could be the queen. And my mind's dirty and it don't need cleaning.
I'm gonna love you so you know the meaning.
Oh, baby, I can't come down, so please come help me out. You've got me feeling high and I can't step off the cloud.
We're going to just keep activating our pieces as fast as humanly
And day,
possible.
I'm addicted, wanna jump inside your love. I wouldn't wanna have it any other way. I'm addicted and I just can't get enough.
Yeah,
Just can't get enough. Just can't get enough.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
We're just going to keep centralizing our pieces until we don't want to unprotect anything. The fact that my rook is pinned, so being up in material is of no consequence just yet. I am trying to threaten him. again. Botez Gambit accepted. 7:16 in the evening. So you are Comma Commander should win this tournament. Not sure why he's paused.
All those years outside looking in, all that time, never even blinking in the starlight. Now I'm here, suddenly I see.
James again. Hold the phone here, everybody.
And it's like the fog has lifted, and
I don't see what's causing it off the top of my head.
and it's like the sky is new, and it's warm and real.
We'll close any unnecessary apps,
World has somehow
such as email, OneDrive, Google, and let's see if that makes a difference. There may be something going on. Internet connection. Change your ingest server or lower your bit rate. The bit rate should be automatically changed. 3 out of 3, yeah. The center. Get fresh coffee. Keep the coffee warm. Ron, hey, we're playing like Beliavsky today.
the sky is new, and it's warm and
Beliavsky was a lifelong E5 player. But against Ron, we're going to play a little differently. We are in the weekend rapid and classical dojo.
now that I see you.
We're going to invite him in.
Said. We need to invent a chess variant where the winner is based on whoever is winning halfway through.
I have a feeling I know where Al Pacino is placed at the moment. Realistic variation.
I'm here, blinking in the starlight. Now I'm here
Way, so therefore,
to be, and at last I see the light, and it's like
can I go this way?
has lit
Queen to e5 check, king moves. Bishop takes e4. Bishop d6.
the sky is new,
Well, this looks kind of fun. It does look kind of fun.
and the world has somehow shifted. Now that I
Mm-hmm.
see you.
And how is he going to... Oh no! I was going to attack the queen originally. Let's go back for just one moment, everybody. So in this particular position, my original thought was just to attack the... I moved instantly. Let's just go back and check that one out. All of my...
Pegasus SWE.
Not your queen. I missed my opportunity for that photo op. Oh no, my queen indeed. I didn't have any plan though for it. So knight takes e4 is the most popular one for a moment. d5 is very sketchy. Knight takes e4 is thought to be best. Even though it scores least. Takes f7.
Pegasus SWE.
Said. Coffee time here
Oh,
now.
queen e7 was a move. Silly me. Queen e7 is a move. Silly me. It's only a pawn. But king f7 is natural. So king takes f7 is good. Queen h5 check. By Gurevich, Balashov, Ninov. Queen e2 is normally played. Black usually wins in this move. Ah. How do we reach this position? King f7, bishop takes e4. Do I take? Play bishop to b4 and rook to e8. Bishop c4 check is what I was expecting. And then I'm really in trouble. But no, I'm not. I thought he had queen g5 mate for a moment. But after bishop takes, bishop d6, bishop d5 check, king f8, queen g5, and I just have to play queen e8 check. Followed by h6, and I win a piece.
Said.
Wow.
GL.
Good luck. Thank you, Srideep. Rayana Srideep P. We're going to continue with this vigorous opening repertoire.
The Welsh Canadian
Said. Let's go.
Thank you, TWC. It's not as vigorous when they play Queen E2, though. I'm going to give Ron another shout out for his awesomeness. So now we have a small advantage.
Quadraspassky
Said. Unbelievable, I go 7 games undefeated this morning, join the dojo and get poleaxed by everyone.
Are you choosing your opponents carefully, though? That is key. Choose your opponents carefully. Do I really want to guard this? I don't think so. And now for something completely different. Is he really ruining my pawn structure? It does appear so. My original plan was to play f5. A takes b4, goes after my very next day. You tore it away. This Let's keep the pressure up. I'm way overdue in capturing that pawn, though. And now for something completely different. My other rook still belongs on e8. And now,
Someone special. A crowded room and friends with tired eyes. I'm hiding from you and your
Midnight Zero Ishi.
go back, sir.
Hey there, I'm back. Just played a game, it was boring. The guy had awful connection, so I had to wait 2 minutes per move.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
With the fire in his heart. A girl undercover, but you tore her apart. Maybe this year.
Midnight Zero
maybe
Ishi.
this year,
Said,
I'll give it
I
to
really love my playstyle with the SWAT concept.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day
You gave it away.
this year to save me
We're gonna keep on attacking.
give it to someone special.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart,
Knight takes d4,
day
or do we go for the passed pawn?
this year to save me from tears.
Quadraspassky.
We'll go for the united
What's
pawn
the SWAT
structure front.
concept?
The united pawn structure front.
Someone special
Just because he's offering us more material
waiting for someone.
doesn't mean that we should not take it.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. At Quadraspeski, strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. SWAT.
Sweating what?
Quadraspassky.
Said. Nice.
You had to wait 2 minutes per move? Well, that's no good. Alright. Let's improve his king position just a little bit.
This nation owes you a huge debt.
Quadraspassky.
Said. I'm playing the Don't Blunder Chris playstyle, it's not working.
Volks active.
Said. How can you tell if you're playing bots or they be cheating?
Well, to be honest, and I am usually as honest as I possibly can be,
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. SWAT S for strength, W for weaknesses, O for opportunity, then T for threats. Like each move you should think about those 4 things.
I don't really want him to get at my a6 pawn, so I'm not moving my b5 pawn just yet. And now for something completely different. Can I do it? Yeah, we'll get everybody moving. We need another pass pawn. We have a pawn majority on the queen side, so we have to move it. I don't actually think about whether or not people are cheating, Volks Active, because I'm just playing good. I'm just playing good chess as best I can.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said.
I really don't know
Yes, Alpha Zero, the weirdest move, LOL.
why I would be concerned about this. I'm giving him a pawn, by the way, if he wants it. He did not seem to want it. Takes, takes. It looks as though I can play this move.
MD Knight Zero.
Said.
That was interesting.
Whenever you have a chance, the people want to see your legendary hat.
Did you go for that? Oh no, did I miss a reward redemption? Can I go this way?
MD Knight 0.
said. LOL, all good.
Do I have a legendary hat here? I don't have the legendary hat. Hat's on for me. Alright, fair enough. We are going to. I'll grab one of them. One that matches. I'm going with the London
Midnight 0 Ishi.
Said. Are we gonna see it?
Midnight 0 Ishi.
Said. Let's go.
Quadraspassky.
Said. How's it going at Midnight 0?
Midnight 0
Takes.
Ishi.
Said. The legendary
Do I
hat.
have enough?
Super 399.
Said. LO.
Do we fix that pawn on a weakness? Do we allow him to play that? Yeah, I'll fix it on that weakness because we have the outside pass pawn. Only because we have the outside pass pawn. And I want to threaten.
MD Knight 0.
Said.
To threaten. Well, he didn't gain any time.
At Quadraspassky.
MD Knight 0.
Said.
Don't want to do that? Now let's bring our knight back into the game first. Thank you for the request, MD. How are you, Chris?
Quadraspassky.
Said.
I hope you have a lovely weekend with the family here.
MD Knight 0.
Said. I'm good, John.
And now, how do I want to go about this? First things first, we have to make a direct threat. Push my pawn to h3, then a2, and then I run over there and take those things, right? Gonna win with the outside passed pawn because we're gonna just distract him over there.
Said.
Oh, nice.
Sent my wife away for a weekend off, so hanging out with my daughter.
Nice. Movies, s'mores, popcorn, an all-around enjoyable weekend, I hope.
MD Knight 0.
Said. Yup.
Princess Diaries, I think, was the order of the day for just gonna walk right over here. We have to decide how he is going to bother me. Okay, so if he tries to approach, keeping the king out. If king f3, knight e5 check pretty much ends the game very quickly. I don't know that he can stick me with the rook pawn, but I'm going to trade everything. Try to think of what my favorite activities were with my daughters way back when, besides, well, prior to Netflix, going to Blockbuster, buying the buttered popcorn or whatever, and then they get to choose any movie that they want. I'm thinking about wintertime activities. Summertime activities are a lot easier. You have miniature golf, perhaps a gaming center nearby. The lovely thing about golf is that it is great for all genders. In general, I think that technique makes up for a lot.
Erikido 23.
Said.
Good morning, Eric.
1.
Sacramento is awake. I think I can force the issue here much faster with knight e5 and c4. And that way we can keep his king up faster. We were talking to our boy before. I mean, he's got the whole world ahead of him. You cannot lose any rating points when you're under 1,000. To be honest, the goal is to play as much as possible. Pay attention to your opponent's moves. Pay attention to where the weaknesses are. Pay attention to what are the best and worst placed pieces.
Said. Your opponent
Is he?
SP is facing network issues.
Well, I think he's facing more issues than that in this position. This is Sri Deep. Yes, we're going to simplify. For 1,000 years.
Said.
Love before 1,000
Said.
more.
Yeah, but he should be back soon.
Sri Deep 18.
Said. The fork.
We need to do everything with check here, by the way.
Pegasus SWE.
Said. Stalemate hope.
Yes, indeed. Stalemate hope, indeed. I was just trying to find the fastest possible mate. I don't know that I would be able to find it. I think it's mate in 4. That's my guess. It is mate in 4. But I was going to have to wrap him up from either this side. I was looking at queen f1, but I just wanted to make sure that it worked. Queen f6 is the first one the computer saw. Everything mates in 4 moves. Every single first move with the exception of queen c3 mates in 4 moves. So I wasn't planning on checking necessarily, but even 3 of the checks lead to 5 of the checks lead to mate in 4. What? Everybody bailed on us, Ron? Ron was the guy that nipped me in the bud? That's craziness.
Sri Deep P.
Said. Yay. Top 3.
As well you should be.
Zero Ishi.
Said. At Master Chess Dojo, if you're okay with it when you're gonna review my game, can I be there because I would like to receive the critique plus?
Sure.
Spassky.
Let's see what we can do now.
Congrats.
One moment.
Midnight Zero Ishi.
Said. It helps me learn.
So we're going to, hold on. This was Midnight Zero-ish with the, I'm going to the Discord real quick. Oh no, we're still dropping frames? WTH. Alright, I'm going to cut the music for a bit. I'm going to cut the music for a bit. I might even cut the Discord right after this because something funny is happening with the...
Said. At Master Chess Dojo, my name in Discord is Midnight Boonbin. It's the how to not play the Scandinavian.
How to not play the Scandinavian. Hold on here. Just running over to the Discord very quickly. And games for analysis. Alexander Beliavsky. He wrote a lovely book, by the way, a book that I highly recommend, Midnight Bun Bun, Ari Boy, and Zone Horse. Good morning, everyone. Games and analysis. We're going to take care of the how to not play the Scandinavian first. Oh, cheese.com. Could have pasted the whole PGN, but I'm just going to copy. We're going to run over to our study called Viewer.
Said. WC third place playoff today.
And I'm going to go into a new study. 1 second. Got a lot of guys here. And this one is
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
LOL.
Is it with a K? Midnight Zero Ishii. You are way too close to my Midnight Zero patron, honestly. Scandy bum. And we're taking the white side.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
I can call you Bunny.
You can call me Bunny.
And then, oh no, I have to actually delete this chapter. For a second, I forgot to
Midnight
paste.
Zero Ishii.
Add a new chapter.
Yeah, I was playing white
PGN. Midnight Zero Ishii versus Scandy Bum on cheese.com. I assume that took place this year.
Said. What happens if you are a channel VIP?
Channel VIP has the ability to post links and also be able. You also are able to chat. Uh-oh.
Said. I had fun destroying this defense I love.
What happened here? It did not create the title. Oh, because the PGN was not complete. Let's see what I can do with the PGN at the top. The PGN is not complete. Copy. One more time.
Pegasus SWE.
Said. https://youtube.be/sjhuiqqc_u.
All right, fair enough. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Midnight.
Shri Deep P.
Said.
And we're going to be white.
Which study is that?
This is the viewer MCD study. I'm going to post it in there. Copy URL. I'm going to post it in here. Right in there in the games of analysis, because we've done this before.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said. At Shri Deep it's mine how to not play the Scandinavian.
This isn't the Scandinavian. Wait a minute. Where's the Scandinavian? This is not a Scandinavian, sir. This is a Sicilian. Wait a minute. How to not play the Scandinavian? What color were you?
Said. The Scandinavian defense.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said. Not that.
And then we have Ari Boy.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Now Ari Boy is black.
I was playing white against that opening.
Ah, boy.
Yeah, I think you pasted the wrong one.
What?
You pasted e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, g3, d6, which is the Dragon Sicilian. It ends up being a Dragon Sicilian with a little bit of a closed variety. And Ari Boy is black in the next one. I'm going to go with, that's 3 R's and Ari Boy.
Said.
Ari Boy is next while we look for the next one.
Pegasus SWE.
Said. E4 d5.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said. I'm looking at it now.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said. It's the wrong one.
That's okay. I want to look at this one real quick, because it's also very short. Now, Artie Boy gave us a game where he's black, right? Or did he give us a game where he's white? That is the question. So it was D4, D5, E3, Knight F6. So already, I'm not a big fan of E3, to be honest. I believe in either bringing out your bishop or fighting for the center with pawn breaks. Philidor believed in pawn breaks. Now, Philidor said that pawns were the soul of chess, but he basically meant the power behind the pawns is the soul of chess. The power of the pawns is several-fold. They threaten to promote,
Yes,
they stake out space, they exchange pawns to open up, lines for the rooks. The power of the pawns in general is the soul of chess. It is the strength behind everything. So with the move E3, I'm a little worried about our drop frames, though. I'm kind of very, very bothered by our drop frames. What else is there that we can do to clobber the drop frames problem? One more time. Let me just do a quick taskbar check.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
Said. I sent the actual game. If you guys internally cringe at that, I'ma be happy because I wasn't playing black.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's true. No, we're looking at Artie Boy right now, real quick, because he had one before this. Streamlabs desktop, 4%. I've got nothing going. I'm a little worried about our internet.
Said. Could you send the link of the study?
I just posted the study in the Discord under Games and Analysis, Chess Games Analysis. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. So here we are. I know that not everyone has access. So E3, Knight F6, perfectly acceptable for black. Knight C3, once again, white is not making any headway against this pawn on D5 because we certainly need pawn breaks to be able to get it. This is one of the reasons why I play the Caro-Kann, because black doesn't get it either. I don't mind black playing E6, but Artie Boy correctly breaks with a pawn on C5, and white now exchanges his good bishop for black's bad bishop. D takes C5 allows black to bring out his bishop on F8 in one move. I don't know why we didn't recapture right away. We chose knight to C6, and white gave away material on top of material. The two center pawns are worth more than the side pawns, so black is already ahead in material because the center pawns are worth a little bit more than the side pawns at the beginning of the game because they push the pieces out of the center.
Midnight Zero.
And at the same time...
Man, I forgot I sent the Scandinavian game to my father, and the Sicilian one was just a game of fate due to me imprisoning the queen, which I really was proud of because it was like Alpha Zero.
No worries, no worries. You can grab that Scandinavian game back from your father, and we'll do that one in a minute. But already, the bishops are worth that much more than the knights. That much more than the knights. Like the center pawns are worth that much more than the side pawns. So white is given away material with D takes C5 and bishop takes C6. Twice over. So black may well be a half a pawn, if not more, ahead. We're about to check it out. Is white going to try to hang on to the pawn with B4? No. White castles. Black plays bishop to C5. White puts his rook on the open file, but he still does not have enough force to be able to play E4 because he only has 2 defenders, and black has 3 attackers on that square. You need one more attacker than you do defenders in order to actually play a move. In this particular position, black goes for simplification. This is totally uncalled for and unnecessary. We just needed to finish the opening. For example, we can just play castling We could play queen to c7. We could put a rook on d8. We could even castle queenside. We could even outpost a knight on the e4 square if we wish to. But I don't see how that would help us. Vachutami, how are you?
I don't know why I pushed the pawn.
That's okay. You feel the need to do something. This is also something that I take from poker and other games like straight pool. Most of the time, you just need to keep improving your position, increasing your stack size, playing very solidly, being very patient, not doing anything, just building up an accumulation of small advantages. The small advantages come from space, perhaps even gaining time on your opponent's pieces by making threats, but accumulating small positional advantages. White already is down 2 small positional advantages now, having fewer center pawns. e5 is a perfectly reasonable move if it were supported. After all, that would gain space. And you have the 2 bishops, so black is down in material. Now, when we first learned how to play chess...
I'm guessing you have 3 defenders to you attacking twice, I'm guessing, but you'd be losing.
Now, unfortunately, white has 3 attackers, as the case is. 1, 2, 3, and we only have 2 defenders on that square.
https://www.youtube.com/watch?mark v=sign 6hgpqz_x_w_t_t=sign1s.
I think we just went from being a half a pawn up to possibly being a full pawn down if white recaptures with the pawn. Right? Actually, we're a full pawn down if he recaptured with the knight. He has a tactic in mind which looks like it recovers, but it does not.
Exactly.
Because the b7 pawn is also a little bit in the lurch. Seriously in the lurch. And white did not take care to see his opponent's threats. The move bishop to e3 overworks the queen. And the queen cannot guard everything, unfortunately. And white would be clearly better. Instead, white blindly ignored what his opponent was doing and fell to the checkmate. Let's make that the main line. Now, white never finished his opening. Black's king was, let's just say, uncastled, but he was never in danger. And he would have had to castle.
Said. What the hell was that by white?
Well, it was a good idea of, you have to pay attention to what the opponent's ideas are.
Was that the actual move?
I'm going to put it in here as perhaps the #1 rule. I've sometimes joked about it. #1, what are the opponent's moves, intentions? Chances are they're not honorable.
Voyage
said. At midnight 0 Ishi, I think he was thinking it was a free pawn, I don't know.
Midnight 0 Ishi
said. Is it really the actual move? Man,
yeah.
I have to bleach my eyes.
To bleach my eyes. Now, Arya Boy, of course, is submitting this game because he wanted lessons in how to analyze a chess game. This was how to analyze a chess game. So notice that I went through this game once for myself, right? I noticed that the opponent did not develop his bishop. He left it behind. And this actually was the cause for his defeat. The rook was never covering the back rank weakness. So since that rook on A1 was never covering the back rank weakness, it's so funny that he actually bid it here on this one. So bishop to b5 check. Don't make checks because you can. Make checks, deliver checks because you want to.
Said. At a reba JJ, that was actually good by you and it's decent, but that last white move, I genuinely may need to be legally blind now.
Of course he was thinking it was a free pawn, but he forgot the #1 rule, which I put in the chat. What are the opponent's intentions? They did not come to this game to help you win. Every single move, you have to pay attention
void.
to the fact
Said.
that they are
Ha
after
ha.
you.
Void.
Said. Then I
One
send
moment.
another one.
I'm trying to address. You can definitely put another one in the Discord, but I'm not promising I'm getting to it. I'm not promising that I'm getting to it, basically because I have Midnight Zero-ish. He has now put his in the scan name.
Said.
This, I swear.
Okay.
I just wanted to go through the rules of how to analyze a chess game. Don't move the same piece twice in the opening. These are rules that you should be writing down. What are the opponent's intentions is the first rule of assessing. Where are the weaknesses? And what are the worst placed pieces? You want to eliminate your opponent's best placed pieces or unseat them. And you want to improve your worst placed pieces so that you have a better position. Pawns, of course, are going to stake out space in the center, and you should not move the same piece twice. White castled, black just developed pieces. Right now, black has 3 very active pieces. I would say black is ahead in material now. We haven't turned on the engine yet, mind you. And then when white plays rook to e1, the tactic here somewhat falls on its ear if white played knight takes d4. So here we go. After e takes d4, the tactic is lightened up here by the fact that white ignored black's intentions. And we already covered the fact that in this position there's a skewer which developed pieces with a purpose. And that purpose is to exchange, simplify, and then this pawn has fallen. So it really doesn't matter where he's going. And down here, I'm going to request a computer analysis. This is 3 ways, basically. I like to go over the game and just get another eye for what's going on in my game first. Then I do the computer analysis. Then I compare my analysis to what happened in the game.
Pegasus SWE.
Said. NB5 perhaps.
In this position, knight to b5, also very torturous. Also very torturous, yes. Knight to b5, indeed. I don't know about here, but it gets a little sketchy. So, bishop e3, checkmate is not unavoidable. Bishop e3 was best. Rook to c8, blunder. Yeah, rook to c8 would have been a perfectly acceptable move to put pressure on the c2 pawn. And if white tries to develop his pieces, then you might even get further pressure on that knight. And in this particular position, instead of castling, white should have played queen to d4, centralizing the queen, possibly rerouting the queen to h4, and at the same time attempting to hold on to the extra pawn, locking down on this square, right? The bishop takes c6 was a little dubious. There was no reason for us to not simplify here. By capturing, you actually can drive the knight back with queen a5 check. They suggest just capturing, leaving the knight in the lurch on that square. It's not doing anything to you. There's no reason to bother it. All right. We're going back to Midnight Zero, Ishii, and the versus the Scandi Bum. D4H5.
Midnight Zero Ishii.
We need to work on our formatting here a little bit. So, E4, D5, E takes D5, Queen takes D5. Now, there has been a movement lately to not attack the Queen, by the way. There was a movement, I think, in a simple chess opening repertoire by Sam Collins, where he suggested knight f3 is more effective because the fact that the queen is going to be attacked causes even more problems. And it sort of holds up in the stats over here with knight f3 versus knight c3. And Knight f3, however, according to Stockfish, has not held. Make this the main line. So you played the traditional knight to c3, and black is supposed to, personally I prefer queen a5. It has the same exact percentage chances of winning for black as queen to d6, you can see in the main database. In fact, if white had, there's absolutely nothing wrong with queen a5. You tuck the queen to the side, you complete your development, the queen comes back to c7, not a big deal. Queen to d6 has been favored by Tivyakov, and it is extremely popular right now. Not entirely sure what the main advantages are, perhaps to stop the bishop from going to f4, but so our opponent, however, our erstwhile opponent played queen to e5 check, allowing further development.
Zero issue.
And after knight c6...
I see I may have to restudy Scandinavian.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Personally, if you're a developing player, Midnight Zero Ishii, if you are under 1,000, I would want you to hang on to that center for dear life.
Play Plat QD8 in that position.
Yeah. Not a big fan of giving white 2 moves of time. How much is a pawn worth, everyone? I know everybody's going to give me an incorrect answer. That's why I'm asking that question. How much is a pawn worth? Really? Really, how much is a pawn worth? And the opponent does not necessarily know the value of a knight.
Said, I have no idea.
Okay, let's start with our traditional counting systems. We have to start a counting system of values.
Said, yet you may
of
not
1.
answer that it's already wrong if I say something.
3DP.
Said, 10 points.
Okay, let's just start with a traditional 1 to 10 counting system. A pawn is worth 1, right? An exchanging value. So a knight and bishop are worth 3 each. This is the traditional method, even though it's vastly disputed by decimal points. Forget the decimal points. Let's just round out. Knights and bishops are worth 3. Knights and bishops are worth 3. Rooks are worth 5 pawns. I should say 5 pawns. And a queen is worth 9 pawns. Now, this all works well and good for rounding because you'll find out that exchanging your queen for a bishop, bishop, and knight, or a knight, knight, and bishop, or a rook, pawn, and knight, or a rook, bishop, and knight, chances are remain equal. Absolutely. So a pawn is worth 1. That is our starting value. And if a knight is worth 3 pawns, you will know that these are exchanging strengths.
Pawns aren't worth 10 points.
Nothing is technically worth 10 points, but in computer programming, I believe that 10 points for the queen and rooks are worth 4.75. I can't remember. But honestly, applying logic in chess by Eric Kislik, I'm drawing a blank on his first name. It begins with an E. I think it's Eric Kislik, but it sounds like it's too alliterative. Applying chess logic, Ray Kaufman in his new opening repertoires also talks about the evaluation system of a queen being worth 10 points and a knight being worth 3.5 points and a bishop being worth 3.75. Sorry, but I can't do any math on that level very quickly. And I know for a fact that the values change.
Said, the knight move here was the only questionable play I made on this game, but yeah, this was a almost perfect game, but I think I didn't move pawns that much.
All right, one more secret, because I don't want to necessarily blow it here. Let me turn this off, because it shouldn't be on. There's no such thing in the real world played by you and I as a perfect game, because chess, as Tartakower once said, is a game of mistakes. Chess is a game of mistakes, and it's our goal to try to play as much as possible without them. We're always making microscopic errors in judgment or in placement, or in coordination. Microscopic errors, even at our best. So therefore, we can never hope to play a perfect game. Chess is not that easy. Even Magnus Carlsen, who's come the closest to playing a perfect game, the only way he ever does it, or has it done so rarely, is, it's like impossible. And Magnus Carlsen actually was charted by reporters and journalists for quite some time because he would tell the truth. They would ask him what's going on in a position, and he would say he didn't know. It was very unclear. And the reporters and commentators for generic TV programs want absolute answers. You're the world champion. You're supposed to know how to play chess. And he's like, I don't know what's going on in this position. It's extremely unclear. So they'll say, what's going on in Anish Giri's game versus Duda? And you're like, it's very unclear. There may be something there. White could be better, but I don't know. And they were very upset with him. So he had to stop being honest in a way, or not talk to the press about other people's games while they're in progress. So in general, he was just being honest that he did not know. He couldn't evaluate a position because there were too many factors at that given moment. Now, if he had a lot of time, or if it was his own game that he was building up upon, then he could do it. Again, while I take the time, I want to thank Ron Hay for the 5 gifted subs earlier. Namaste, Ron. I really appreciate it. I am going to adopt something that chess coach Andres, who's one of the legends of the stream. I was in his stream last night. Please follow chess coach Andres. He is listed there as one of the legends. I am Andres Toth, is a coach out of Australia. He is Hungarian by upbringing and culture, and he has a great YouTube channel as well. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, this is the time. Maybe I'll do something on values because values are way overdue. But you cannot give away a knight for a pawn. That was the first thing. And because we're ahead a knight for a pawn, I want to trade queens. If we exchange queens, knights, bishops, and rooks, I'm going to have one extra knight. Black will have exchanged off his only knight for our knight. So we're going to have one extra knight when everything is exchanged. And our knight is going to tromp around, capture the pawns, and we're going to promote a pawn to a queen, and we are going to win the game. So that brings us to our 3 methods of winning. 1, checkmating the opponent. 2, taking all of our opponent's material, winning extra material, having more material, checkmating our opponent later. 3, even material all the way down to the bitter end, the Grandmaster method. Gaining space, gaining time, gaining small advantages, totally even material. White promotes a pawn or black promotes a pawn first. Pawn promotion in the endgame is winning method number 3, the highest level of winning that one can hope for. And this is really what you're after. So A, you can play for checkmate. This is why beginners love the 4-move checkmate, and slightly more advanced players enjoy the scholar's mate with bishop c4 and queen h5. But after that, it's all about tactics, winning material through forks, pins, and skewers, practicing your puzzle streak, practicing your puzzle rush, whatever it takes. Hone on winning more material than your opponent, trading everything and checkmating with that extra material. Or, if in this case we're up a knight, we want to trade all of the material and use our extra knight to take our opponent's pawns. We will promote one of our pawns to a queen, and then we will checkmate later. So pawn promotion, winning material, and checkmating, or early checkmates are the 3 most common ways of winning a chess game. And you have to keep those in mind every step of the way. Every step. So in this particular case, absolutely the 3 methods of winning, and you have to internalize those methods. And it makes the chess game a very simple game. Very simple game. You want to win material, exchange everything by attrition, knight for knight, bishop for bishop, rook for rook, queen for queen. You have an extra knight, promote your pawn, checkmate later. This is what the professionals do. I played for Eric Quito. I don't know that he's still here, but Eric, I played Efren Reyes. I won a pawn on move number 11, 12, or 15. I literally ground down several-time world champion, Hall of Famer, billiards player, that is, Efren Reyes from the Philippines. He loves playing chess. My pawn won the end game. Helps to write these down. These down because the more you write it down. One of my favorite methods, where's the little 3x5 card? One of my favorite methods in high school was not cheating, but it was to have a good luck charm. Here we have, I don't know, I'm just going to choose this one here. A 3x5 card, right? Got a little 3x5 card that you can write notes on. These are all student cards, by the way. They were writing answers on both sides. And they were revolutionizing them, and I wanted to use these cards as far as participation points. But what I would do is I would take my history notes and I would rewrite them. History was my favorite subject. It was so great. It was not unlike chess. It was like studying from the masters. I would write down my notes smaller and smaller until I could fit them on a postage stamp. Yes. I would take a whole page, an A4 piece of paper or an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper here in the United States. I would take all of those notes and I would condense them in shorthand until I could fit them. I would rewrite my notes over and over again. And I would internalize everything in the notes by rewriting it onto the Post-its note. And then I would stick the note deep into my pocket when I went to take the test. I never, ever needed to take it out. I knew that I had the knowledge, either physically or mentally. And I would usually ace every test routinely in school because I rewrote my notes microscopically over and over and over again. I do not believe, under any circumstances, you should ever refer to those notes. But the ambitious act of actually writing things down and rewriting things, rewriting notes, rewriting principles, rewriting questions for assessment, such as what are the opponent's intentions, what are the best placed and worst placed pieces, and
A+ student.
No, I wasn't right away. Chess actually helped me become that way. Chess actually helped me become an A+ student in college. I was actually in college. By the time I got to college, I was magna cum laude, I was not an A+ student. I had a grade point average greater than 3.5, which is what you needed for magna cum laude. Or cum laude. I can't remember which one it is. It's not the one that's the highest, which is valedictorian. Like if you're 4.0, 4.0, 4.0 at every subject, I was usually 3.5 half in every subject. So I was a cum laude student, but I wasn't magna cum laude. Probably. I can't remember. Needless to say, I did believe in rewriting notes, and I learned this from chess. I learned it a lot from chess. It was really great because it was so easy to do. All I did was read the notes, play through the game again one more time and see what I remembered, and then play through the games again. I even have my notebooks. Do I have my notebooks handy? I don't think I do. Hey, I do have them. There we go. From when I was 1500, I have them in this binder here for the most part. Really lovely old binder to sort of protect them. I have my notes from the binder from when I was about 14 and 1500. Oh, these are not they. Uh-oh. You gotta find them. These are CDs and DVDs. These are DVDs of the Derby City Classic. Jason Miller versus John Brombach. So Cave Pagalion, Derby City. And a lot of music CDs which I'll never listen to again. And a nice old business card which I haven't seen in a long time. Crazy. Alright, meanwhile, but there is a folder around here with my notes. I'm glad I found these actually, because I did want to review the Pro Series DVD. And my own match in the World Summit, Davis versus MacArthur, I played a few professional billiards tournaments.
You should do a puzzle racer sometime soon.
I should, but with losing bit frames, I'm not planning on doing it right now. But I haven't lost bit frames in the last 20 minutes. Since I closed everything, including the music, I seem to be okay. Crossing my fingers that I am just okay. The only things I have open, I can probably close that as well because of the sound alerts. I can close the other browser window as well. But c'est la vie. So let's get back to finishing Midnight Zero-Ish's game. The opponent has lost a pawn. Knight takes d4, and in this particular position, I would take that.
Drop anymore.
I would take that bishop in a heartbeat. I would absolutely take that bishop in a heartbeat and castle, and my opponent cannot get out of the center. And if he attacks me with rook d8, then I'll attack the queen again with bishop d3, because I really can take the queen. So, because I'm ahead in material, my opponent just gave away a knight, a bishop.
Yeah, the knight will be cringe.
So, I just want you to know that my opponent gave away a knight, so all of the other pieces now have to make up for the value of those missing 3 points. That means that every single piece is now greater in value than all of our pieces. So every time we exchange material, it comes down to the last few moves. Let's say you have a rook and a knight versus a rook. Your rook and knight are equal to 8 points based on our value system, our rounded off value system, and their rook must be worth 8 points. He cannot exchange himself for another rook, otherwise it's 3 pawns to 0 in value. So therefore his rook is worth 8 points, and then it just keeps that value across all of the other pieces. For example, I had season New York Jets tickets. The New York Jets are one of 3 major New York State football teams. You've got the New York Giants, the New York Jets, and the Buffalo Bills. When I first came to New York in the mid-1980s, the Buffalo Bills were in the Super Bowl 3 times. The New York Jets were playing against the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills were the only team that I knew. So my friend gave me season Jets tickets for whatever reason, he had moved away or he'd given me Jets tickets. I ended up getting season Jets tickets on my own. And Vinny Testaverde was carried off the field, right? Carried off the field in the preseason game. The season hasn't even started yet. They're just warming up for the fans that have season tickets. These tickets are available as a bonus. He's warming up in the preseason. The last game of the preseason, Vinny Testaverde, the star quarterback, gets injured. This is like losing your queen, right? The star quarterback, American football, gets injured. Thank you for following. Code Z, 1234, 1234. Thank you for following. I am International Chess Trainer. I'm going to rename it now. And National Master John MacArthur. I've been teaching chess since 1984, accidentally started teaching chess. So this means that all the other football players, now that Vinny Testaverde, the star quarterback, has been carried off the field, and I believe for that game and the next 2 to 3 games, all of the other players picked up their performance value. Every other player, the punt kicker came in as the substitute. I'm just saying that when the star player gets carried off the field, let's just say Messi gets carried off the field before the season even begins, right? All the other players have to pick up their performance, a percentage that they can muster to make up for the missing star player. So if you're missing 9 points across 39, right? Now you only have 30. The remaining 30 players, because there are 39 points of material.
Personal lessons?
I need to find a trainer for myself, or do I give personal lessons? I do give personal lessons. I teach chess for a living.
Said. I get what you mean.
So everybody else has to perform that much better. And if the other players cannot perform that much better, you're in trouble. So every time a piece is exchanged, you're taking that player off the field. You're like taking him out. You're like the Oakland Raiders injuring all of the other players. They're off, they're off, they're off, they're off. No more star players left. The guys that are third string, the third layer, the AAA players, whatever you've got in reserve, cannot possibly perform at the same level as the starting players. So you just keep taking them out. That's why when we're up a piece in this position, we want to capture that knight. That knight should capture the bishop. The queen will have to move again. We get to castle. We're getting our king safe. And even if this rook were to attack our queen, which seems like a good move, we're going to gain even more time on that queen, which cannot afford to be taken. After all, the bishop takes the queen for free, and the rook takes this queen, and the rook will take back. This will mean that we're down yet another amount of material. We cannot just protect because the queen is worth 9 pawns. The bishop is only worth 3. Let's just say he moves over here and tries to hide. Now we can actually try to threaten him some more. Maybe by attacking and attacking some more. We can bring our queen out. We can threaten a pawn if he guards the pawn. We can threaten some more. We can actually threaten to trade the queen some more. He tries to move his queen away. We threaten the queen some more. He can't afford to trade anything, by the way. And now we threaten the queen even more. Now the queen hardly has any moves. This is the only square for the queen. And we threaten the queen even more. And he finally gets a counterattack in. And we're okay with this, by the way, because we can threaten the queen again. Maybe we're not okay with this. Capture, capture, and capture. No, we're not okay with that one. And we gave back our material by accident. So therefore, in this particular position, we don't really have to worry. But we can threaten checkmate of sorts. We can try to threaten the checkmate of sorts. So that if the rook takes the bishop, we can threaten checkmate. The unfortunate drawback is that he can also take the knight. And we're going to have to keep up the threats as best we can. But I don't see it. I think we got a little ambitious here with queen to e4, unfortunately. Too bad. But we did have methods of saving our knight, keeping our rook in position, and offering further trades of material. Can we do it? Kind of curious if we could do it. I don't really see it. I think we're giving back material now as we speak. In any event, knight takes f5. Let's just work on it very meticulously. We attack the queen. We bring our queen out. We attack the queen again. We attack the queen again. And in this particular position, we don't necessarily have to do anything too fancy. But we could attack the queen again. And what do we have here? To avoid any funny business, we could just plain guard the queen, guard the knight, and prepare to take over more space in the center. So, for example, if he brings out a bishop or a knight, we can start bothering him again. And he has to choose what he's up to here. Check, and we're already winning because of mate. So he can't safeguard his rook. His rook has to go into the corner, or maybe he can counterattack another piece of greater value. And then we threaten to trade queens again. We just plain threaten to trade queens again. Again, we're trading, and we're going to win the game later. I'm going to make that the main line of that jettisonable progress. So you did not take the bishop, even though it is a prime exchange. Midnight Zero-ish, Midnight Bun Bun in the Discord played a very logical move. What? Not a very logical move. He actually moved away, and the opponent gave away a piece for a pawn. And now we're up 2 pieces. It is now time for hints of ruthlessness. We should be attacking the queen with a gain of time. He is. We should be trading queens. But he goes after him some more. We could trade queens.
Said. Yet.
And the opponent gave away their queen. So I wouldn't call this a perfect game, unfortunately. But now the opponent misses the chance to attack the knight with h6, gaining time. I'm really,
Midnight Zero-ish.
Said. Mind you, this is a 900 rated game.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say at your levels that the openings have any bearing whatsoever on the outcomes of the games. In general, the openings do not have any merit.
At Midnight Zero-ish, do want to play a rapid?
Everybody's going to jump on this now. C6, rook on h to e1. This I do enjoy. You're playing this really, really well as far as the opening principles go. There are a handful of middle game principles that we were not obeying.
Midnight
and those,
said. At Ariba JJ, I play at chess.com.
I would play wherever I can. I played on chessclub.com for decades, then Lee Chess came around, and I still have a chess.com membership. It is absolutely very okay. I think I would still continue to go after the king in the center. Do not go after more material when you're already winning. That rook on h8 never did anything for you. But you did reroute to take advantage of the pin and deliver checkmate very efficiently. So knight takes f7 was a part of a greater plan. Nicely done. Very, very well done. Oh no! Not I play at midnight. Hold on, let me untime out this poor guy. I should have known that was coming. Midnight Zero-ish. I spelled it right. Sorry, I'm midnight. But in general, yeah, I would definitely like Ari Boy. Go over a lot of games, read the things. Do not.
Midnight
Honestly, I don't get anything out of one particular server or another.
Yet I think I can't play against you.
Voyage.
Said. I sent another game in the Discord.
I did see that one. That one I'm sort of discrediting already because the opponent, I hope you're white in that game. I hope you're white. I'm actually going to, I'll put the first few moves here. All right, in the same study. We'll flip the board for a moment. It was d4 h5.
I'm white.
Yeah.
Voyage.
Interestingly enough, you No, you didn't play the London. You may have put your bishop on f4, but you did not play the London. I am a very, very important stickler for this, okay? It says queen's pawn opening over here, and you played a queen's pawn game. Now, whatever you choose to do after this is entirely up to you. But your opponent did not control the center. Your opponent did not develop a piece. I mean, your opponent is not playing chess, so therefore you can't play the London. Okay? Let's imagine for a moment that you play d4 and your opponent plays e5. And I play bishop f4, and I tell you I'm playing the London. I would have to say that you are not playing the London. You are giving away a piece. Okay? And if black played g5 for the same reason, you can see that all of these openings have names. The only way that you can actually get to the London...
Haha, that does not work, haha.
The only way you can actually get to the London is if they play d5. d4, d5, bishop f4, e3, knight f3, knight on b to d2, c3, placing our light square bishop later on e2 or d3. This is the London system. The London system is a d4, d5 opening. If white does not play such proper chess either, black may actually get a chance to play the London defense. Bishop f5, e6, pawns on those squares, knight on b to d7, and bishop to d6. Black can play a London defense, and you as white are playing the London system. But if black answers with knight f6, it's now an Indian defense. There is no London. So you can try to play, this is why they've renamed it to the London system. They're trying to just play a London system of development. But in reality, this is not really a London opening. Your opponent still can play the King's Indian defense, right? And the moment we try
Okay,
play
I understand.
anything else. Now, I know that so in general, yeah, you're playing a London, but I would say I'm playing a London system. I'm a very big believer in rhetoric because I shared an apartment with Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. And whenever I said something that inferred that I understood something, he would always tell me to pay attention to the details of what's going on. So basically, you need a system against the King's Indian defense because the London is not a system. I mean, the London system is a little bit of a sitting duck for the King's Indian. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a sitting duck for the King's Indian. And you need a system for a few other things as well. I mean, one of my students, because other young students are playing the London, one of my students just gave away a pawn for free with e5. He wasn't even playing the England gambit. He would just literally force his opponents to have to think about coordinating their pieces. On move 2. They can't play bishop f4. They can't do what their coach told them to do. Normally they would just defend and hope for pawn takes, and a later bishop f4. They wouldn't take this pawn because that would disturb the London system setup. If they took the pawn on e5, it was no longer a London, so they had to play the London. I want you to be a good chess player. I want everyone here to be an amazingly good chess player. You roll with the punches, you attack and you defend, you counterattack and you zwish and zug your opponents with in-between moves. You pin, you skewer, you fork. whatever it takes. You combo punch your opponents. This is what it's all about. It has nothing to do with openings. Enjoy playing chess. Put your pieces out there. Take your swings, and if you miss, take another swing. Enjoy what you're doing. This is what it's all about. Don't play openings. Study and play chess. Study the great players. Do as they do. Play the openings that Beliavsky plays. One of my favorite books by Beliavsky is, right now, I don't have that many books by Beliavsky. I have a lot of endgame books. But he did write oh no, this is Portish. I take it back. It's My Secrets in the Rue Lopez is Portish. Oh, I'm glad I walked over here. But Beliavsky and Mikhail Chizhin have many books on the endgame. Winning endgame strategy, winning endgame technique, and stuff like that. Winning Endgame Strategy by Beliavsky and Mikhail Chizhin. Amazing book. Amazing book. And he has many more. I'm just going to duck over here to see what he has, because I have everything alphabetical. Beliavsky. Yeah, he has Isolated Pawn Strategy by Beliavsky. That was the other book that I'm thinking. Isolani Strategy, which is a tremendously amazing book. I could do tons of stuff on that.
Said, I was planning to buy the Silman's Endgame course. What
You
do
could do
you
that.
think about that?
Absolutely, you could think about that. There's a lot of reading there, though. The hard part that I have about books is that you have to take action. You can't talk about what you're going to do. You have to take action. There's a lot of pleasant reading, but I like workbooks a little bit more. I like books that make you work, which is one of the reasons why I like Chessable. You can get a lot of endgame strategy and stuff in courses on Chessable, because then you have to actually do it. You actually have to make the moves. You can't just go to sleep on the couch reading about the endgame. And setting up the pieces on a board is another layer of work when you buy a book. Silman's Endgame Strategy, by the way, and all of the books by Silman are priceless. Absolutely priceless, but they require another level of commitment and work, which as an adult, I know we all do not have that time. So the time condensed method of approaching this is to use forwardchess.com. By the way, for quality chess books, forwardchess.com. Everyman Chess has an e-reader. I'm going to try to find those and put them down, but the only one that I promote at the moment is from my good friends at Chessable. I use their products. They have given me a lot of products for free. They do not pay me to tell you how great they are. However, they have given me a lot of free material, so my opinion was not biased by that, but I had already been using it for 2 years at the point at which they pegged me. But I checked it out maybe 5 or 6 years back, and then in 2018, I ran into John Bartholomew and Dimitri Schneider in London at the 2018 World Championship match. And they said, John, you have to check it out again. Give it another go. So I did. And they had endgame stuff. And they had middle game stuff. It was no longer a memorization of the openings vehicle. It still hinges a lot on memorizing openings, playing the moves over and over again. But every short and sweet on the Chessable platform, every short and sweet book on the openings you can go through probably in about an hour. You can learn an opening in an hour, and you have to make the moves. You literally have to make the moves. They set up the board for you. You make the moves again. One thing I would definitely do, if you could, is you could also set up a study in Lee Chess, and you can play through those opening variations. All right? I should switch my thing to just chatting. But all of you have the amazing ability to improve your chess through your actions, not through just reading or watching a video. When I watched a video, I remember I tried to watch one of Max DeLugi's iChess.net videos. Good news is that they do provide other content for you with those videos. Very often they might provide PGN files so that you can play through the games. But really, when you're watching a video, you should be on your computer trying to take notes. I had a touch screen. I'm in a class with Arthur Bisquar or Arthur Yusupov, and unless it was a quiz position where I was required to analyze, most of the time I was playing through the game as fast as I could on a computer screen. And I was trying to keep the notes. And I felt it was rude at one point because I didn't want him to think that I was copying his material. Alexander Chernin, who coached Fabiano Caruana, has a large hand-written notebook, not unlike that binder that I just showed you here. Alexander has several of these binders full of chess material that he uses with students, and he puts the initials of the students in the top right or top left. And I asked him about his coaching Fabiano Caruana, and he showed us that Fabiano had indeed done all the material that we were doing in the camp with the initials at the top of the diagrams and the exercises that we were actually working on. And I was very impressed. And I'll promote him highly as a trainer. Alexander Chernin, International Master Alexander Chernin from Hungary. Amazing player. Meanwhile, I would like to move on to some more instructional content. I'm not going to get it done just now, so I appreciate all of you being here. Please follow on my socials, certainly on the YouTube channel. Throw the subscription in if you can. I will get a notification here.
So what do you think I should do to get better at chess?
You have to apply yourself every single day. Play at least 2 games, if not 3. Analyze those games, look back, and try to make sure that you're doing something that you weren't doing before. Practice the end games. Chessable.com has so much free material. Basic chess endings on Chessable is a very rigorous and difficult and good course. From pawn end games, just to work on that. I thought you were doing pretty well. You were following all of the opening principles really well.
Shri DP
said. Watch Master Chess Dojo regularly.
Namaste. Yeah, check in regularly with your progress too. Take a few steps for yourself. Absolutely take a few steps for yourself. When I give lessons, by the way, you have to move the pieces. I'm not going to move the pieces for you.
Said. I will.
All right? You have to move the pieces. You have to do the work. That is the way it is. I would love to give the well-heeled king.
Shri DP
said. Results guaranteed.
I wish I could say results guaranteed. It takes a lot of work. Absolutely takes a lot of work to become better at chess. It takes diligent daily application. It's like you learn how to walk, by the way. You didn't learn how to walk by asking people how to walk. You learn to walk by watching people walk and then modeling that behavior for yourself. Going over the games of good players is the time-honored, true-tested method. You can watch Chess24 broadcasts. I promote Chess24 broadcasts a lot. I promote Peter Lecco and David Howell, good friend David Howell. We've met up on more than one occasion. As often as I can, and I believe that he is an amazing commentator on explaining stuff that is going on in high-level games. If there is something going on right now, we should check it out. You can also watch one of my other favorite streamers, whom I have not rated in quite some time. Check out one of my inspirations. I'm hoping that she is not leaving anytime soon. There's also Rebecca and others. Chess Weeb is amazingly good.
Bye.
Wait, don't go. Stick around for the raid.
Okay.
Stick around for the raid, everybody.
Tree Deep P
said, thanks for the stream.
You're welcome. I'm just going to throw up the ending credits for all of those who are new subscribers and all of those who are new to the channel.
Tree Deep P
said, sure.
Boyge
said,
and please enjoy Fianchetta. Chess Weeb is also another one. I enjoy him a lot. Here we go. And thank you very much. Cheers and ciao, and enjoy their commentary.